GSL.
Welcome back. This is the GSL Code A here, Tasteless and Wolf. So far we've had I would say bizarre games for a normal day of mass StarCraft II casting.
I feel like there's just been like this fog of tension over all the players where in some cases we're seeing mistakes that are just very uncharacteristic. I feel like the best series that we actually saw was the first best of 3, right? Where we had like pretty solid PBT coming out of Paralyzed, who now just basically he all killed the group. Like he got 4-0 and he's like out of there. He's like, what is going on around me? Well, this is the losers match. One of these two players is actually getting knocked out. I thought they were both highly favored to get out of this group, but they both find themselves here in the losers match.
Keep in mind though, Kure did lose to Paralyzed, who actually shot out of this group. I mean, Paralyzed looked like he was on another level. Paralyzed had Code S written all over his play.
Yeah.
Kure, I think he looked very good. It just seemed like the end game, Paralyzed had his numbers. Let's see how Super plays this. I think if we stay in a mid-range time period, Kure can win this, unless Super, I've way underestimated him.
Kure definitely needs to get something done in the mid-game on this map. If he lets Super go late on Frost, he's going to have a big problem on his hands because Super's Zealot run-bys are pretty strong.
Yeah.
And obviously, you know, PBT composition late game is so hard for the Terran to deal with. We saw Kure struggling to manage how many Vikings and how many ghosts he had. So on his way grossly over making his Vikings.
21 or 22 Vikings?
For like 2 Colossi, just way too many.
All right, guys, this is the losers match here in GSL Code A Group D between Super and Kure here at GOMTV. In the bottom right starting location, we have one of our 3 Protoss players.
Super.
Super. His Terran opponent to the bottom left in the teal.
Kure.
In the taupe.
Yeah. Cyan, I was getting a lot of people telling me it's actually Cyan. I'm like, well...
In the Cyan, in the bottom right.
In that new Scion car.
Is that a car?
Yeah, this is like a brand called Scion, I believe. Like SCION. I never drove one. It was like box shaped.
Did you drive much when you were back in Atlanta?
Not well. When I came back actually to visit last time about 2 years or so ago, I had to like borrow cars, but I did drive pretty much every day, I would say. I thought it was actually going to be hard to readjust to driving again.
Yeah, I've wondered that because I haven't driven in, I think, 7 years. Just because I've been out in Seoul for so long, there's no need for me to have a car. The public transportation's so good.
It's kind of like riding a bike, actually. I was pretty nervous about it for some reason because it had been about a year. Now it's been, 2, and I'm not really, because when I went back, I just like sat in the car and I was like, oh, this is not like a hard skill.
It's probably one of those things, if you haven't driven for a long time, you're still aware of how fundamentally dangerous driving actually is. I mean, being in a car is, nowadays, it's the most dangerous thing we do.
Yeah,
basically.
I would actually have to retake the test if I go back because my license is expired.
Yeah.
And actually, the thing about that is I would probably have to prepare a little bit because there's like some weird quirks in the test that you have to know.
Oh, right.
Like...
Can you double park?
It was actually failable.
Parallel park on...
It was failable on my test to, like, not stop at the railroad tracks even if there was, like, no train coming.
Yeah. Railroad tracks, I think, is the same rule as a stop sign in the States.
Yeah.
You have to stop.
And that would, like, fail a lot of my friends. There's, like, little things like that you don't really think about when you're actually just driving around in your car. But well, this Reaper's going to scout that placement of the pylon and also the really fast Nexus that's going down here for Super.
We have the Reaper coming in here, getting 1 kill very effectively on that 1 probe and backing out. He'll go ahead and regen. Looks like the reactor is now done, and the second command center is on the way, being put on the low ground, which is totally fine because there's really nothing that the Protoss can do to contest that.
Yeah.
As long as the Reaper's out, really the Protoss has to be sure to defend as well as possible against that Reaper.
You're correct. The Reaper actually is just like hunting for that pylon.
And we have 2 more barracks behind this, so he's actually going to focus on some 2 racks play. This may be due to the proximity of the 2 players.
Yeah.
We saw that Cure was really having a lot of fun with drop play. Very smart with that. He might be trying that again here on Super.
I think there's a pretty good chance of that. Ooh, this pylon is going to...
Whoa!
I think he's still going to see it, but... I wonder what the plan with this is, like with a robo?
I mean, there could be a lot of reasons. Sometimes you just put that up there to spot.
For drops, yeah.
And you know what? He might do some kind of old school push, but we don't know. I mean, okay, now he does see it.
Would have been so funny if he like just made some gateways.
Does the MC push? Yeah.
Warp Prism 4 gate or something?
Yeah. Twilight Council coming down here now. So we have Super going in 2 different tech directions right away. This could be a bit weak against Cure's very standard, solid multi-racks play.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to be... I don't think this is going to be for, like, a DT drop. This is the type of play that... really...
Well, he could be going for that Blink Stalker play with the Observers. You get the Observer out there, and then the Terran has to defend, right?
Yeah.
So they have to make bunkers over there, especially on a map like this. They'll make bunkers on the high ground, bunkers at their expansion. And then what Protoss does is expand behind that while keeping Terrans stuck inside their main. It puts Protoss at a fundamental advantage, and I think that's what we're seeing right now.
Do you like this build?
Yeah, I think it's really good.
I like it better when they skip the Observer and just use the Mothership Core for vision and then bounce back. But this one is like much easier to transition out of. I guess I like harder builds more than like a soft build like this one.
It's never enough of a challenge for Wolf.
This one, not like harder as in like more difficult. I just mean like just more rigid. This build has like too many transition points, and it's.
Well, I think that's why it's so strong, is because it does have so many transition points. I mean, even though it's solid in how it keeps Cure in kind of a Muay Thai clench where he can't get out of it,
yeah.
It also it creates ambiguity about where does Super take the game from here.
If you get an inkling
got that, by the way. Nicely done.
Yeah. If you get an inkling of what's going on, though, I feel like the Terran player has no fear here. He doesn't get this Observer. That sucks.
Okay, well, he does see that he's leaving.
Yeah.
Now, with the build that Super's doing, I think the Cure is going to have much more initiative on the map.
He accidentally sent 2 probes down there.
How embarrassing.
Probes always need a buddy. Use the buddy system. Don't send those probes alone. Well, this is a really strong push, man. He's got more than double the army supply right now, and medevacs are soon to join.
And Blink, when even that finishes, that's not going to help out that much.
At all.
Yeah. In fact, he might just walk over there with Stim. In fact, he is just running over here with Stim. Okay, targeting down the Nexus. Oh my God, so good with the targeting.
That's just like not enough damage on the Nexus, actually. The Nexus cannon is good, but it's not that good.
Well, he's doing so much damage here. Now, he did drive him out, but I mean...
When the medevacs come in here, like, there's no more overcharge to be used.
Mm-hmm. And there's 2 coming out right now. Hope he scans over there. There's always an observer over your army after you leave the opposing player's base. Looks like he Super wants to try to do any damage here with these Stalkers.
That was a big stim, actually.
Yep. Okay, he did get away. Don't forget, there are medevacs coming, though.
Yeah, I don't like that stim, actually, to chase. The thing is, he
should have waited a little bit longer. If the Protoss is going to get a little bit closer.
If this Stalker's being on top of you, then you're in a good spot to stim on that. Well, I felt like that was a great spot for Cure, but then he lost a lot of his units afterwards. It's really hard to say, because now this Blink Stalker presence is much more than just like a
the problem is with Stim and medevac, Stalkers do not become as useful. Now this is a large number of Stalkers, which changes that a little bit. He's come out now.
This is a really big problem, because most of those units are still low on hit points. I think with this Warpin, actually, he could do a critical amount of damage here. There's just way too many Stalkers.
Well, also, the medevacs used up a lot of energy back there, healing up that already bruised army.
Yeah, now he's in a really tough spot here, Tasteless. I mean, that's barely any Marauders out here. The combat shields not being done really hurts him too, because those Marines could be so much stronger with that. Mule being targeted here now is just going to start fighting the SCVs. That was a great trade here for Cure, or rather for Super, excuse me.
Yeah, this might be like a Stalker snowball here. Oh, this is really good. Getting both of those. The Observer actually getting out too. Nicely done.
Really nice control on that of Obs.
Oh my God! Again, another nice pick there. And he's got to be careful again.
Wow.
I mean, sometimes there's moments to blink away with everything, and then there's other moments to blink away one by one. You really have to have that critical mass. And he's getting some Zealots here, but those are not Zealots that are nearby.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to stick around too much longer. He's just trying to see what he can get done.
Okay, well, he's going to get Colossi along with this. Now, a lot of SCVs were killed back there, but also a lot of them were just not mining. So this does put Super into a really good spot, actually. Is he going to scan that? He does. He kills it.
But that's another Mule not used. Whoa!
Whoa! Careful, buddy.
This group has been a bit rocky with these
we've seen a lot of very bumpy games here.
It's like everybody is super stressed out, as they should be.
I mean, of course, they want this, right? How many opportunities do you have to get, segued into Code S?
For some people, it's a once-in-a-lifetime chance. Now, again, he's able to pick off some units and blink away. Not a single Stalker lost. +2 nearly done. And with those Colossi out here, this third base should be pretty easy for Super to hold on to. And again, that stim is basically just Cure doing AoE damage to himself because he's not able to kill anything. And the Medivacs will heal it, of course, but it's a lot of energy used. I think he should force a cancel here, but at what cost? If the Stalkers actually catch those Medivacs, he's going to be in a world of hurt. And here we go, 1, 2.
Oh, nice! -2 Medivacs. That's actually huge. And with the Stalker Colossi mix, he might just be able to do a very straightforward push across the map.
I think so.
I mean, when you consider how many... Oh, my God. Thank God he blinked away there. Okay, so he might be able to do a very straightforward push across the map here. I mean, there's been little bits of armies shaved off here and there from Cure. I mean, granted, Super's lost a few Stalkers. That's not as impactful as the number of Medivacs we've seen killed here. And this is dicey because he's loading up a lot more Medivacs here. If the Stalkers can blink underneath this and kill them off, that is going to really give an edge here to Super. Or, to Super, excuse me.
Super actually is pretty light on probes. That third command center that Cure had, he's been keeping up that production pretty nicely. He's actually ahead in workers after losing all his workers early on. And if you add mules on top of that, that puts you in a great spot for mineral income. But the army for Super is really, really strong, and he's got +3 coming in here. Charge soon to join that. His Medivacs here are trying to find some sort of opening. I think they're going to get into the natural undetected. Yeah, I think so. Here we go. The Nexus Cannon is up, though. And he doesn't have anything but a few Stalkers, and Stalkers versus Marauders. Not a fight you want to take. This Nexus is weak from earlier.
He might need to blink under this. The Zelts are coming up, and he's going to get the Medivacs!
Yeah, at least one of them does go down.
Now, losing those Stalkers over there... Oh, my God, he doesn't know about the Widow Mines there. That's going to cause a big problem later on. Oh, and maybe he does. Maybe I spoke too soon.
Actually catches the Medivac.
Okay, so that's a lot of losses there for Cure. I mean, Cure's very aggressive. He's very agile with how he moves around the map. But if Super... excuse me. If Super keeps on catching this... I mean, it's pretty straightforward from there. I mean, you're losing this much army, and it's not paying for itself. You're going to lose in the long run.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a game that's all about efficiency and strategy.
It is.
And in this case, if he's losing on the efficiency thing, even no matter how good the strategy is from Cure, it's not going to be enough.
+3 is about to be done, lining up right with this attack here. I think he might end up losing his third base. He does save it by lifting, but he's in a bit of an awkward position, and the army is 20 army supply better here for Super with way better upgrades. A strong composition. There's not enough Vikings here, not even close, to deal with these Colossi. Charge Zealots tanking at the front. SCV's coming off the line. It looks like Super wants to end the game here. More Zealots coming up, Tasteless.
And the way these Colossi are hitting everything up here in the front without the real presence of enough Vikings, they are just going to tear down this army, and that should be GG here as we would go into game number 2. So far, Terran having a hard time in this group.
Yep. That's going to be it. GG. Super Looks to hold on here, at least for now.
Damn. Look, Cure can still pull it together and win this, but right now, it's very clear that you get these players like Paralyze and Super. All they're doing really is waiting. They know that in the long run, a Protoss like them is going to be stronger against a Terran, no matter how solid.
Yeah.
A Protoss has too many tools at their disposal. They have the Storm in the late game, which, by the way, we never even got to in this game. Colossi shredding up the other units, which cannot even poke in without taking damage. The Stalker Blink Micro able to catch the Medivacs. The fact that Nexus Cannon is solid. They just keep defending. And as good as Cure is at attacking, if all Super has to do is wait, he will eventually consume each bit of that army and become a little bit stronger. That little bit becomes a lot, and eventually Super just topples Cure.
Yeah, that engagement where he lost a lot of his Bioforces let those Blink Stalkers do so much more. And I think that's where the game started to snowball in Super's favor. He just killed too many SCVs. He got too much of a lead there. So what map is Cure going to pick?
I'm not sure, actually.